Now, while everybody thinks that the sell-off that we are seeing today is mostly because of what is happening geopolitically, which is essentially the tariffs that have been applied and more that may be coming, and you do have our own Prime Minister meeting up with the US President later in the week, which could sort of soothe those affairs. There are some positive news flows also around some of the laws that are being passed around companies that get involved in certain things. Let me not detail on that, but what I want to really detail on is what is coming in our own market is a new tax code that could possibly, of course I have no idea, carry some positives in terms of changes in the overall environment in which we work. So that's something that we are waiting to see get tabled in the parliament. So that's a domestic positive versus what we are able to negotiate in the US. That could be a global positive. So these are two things that can actually turn positive for the market in the next couple of days. And the reason I mentioned that is today's selling is not just about the tariffs. It's really about mid and small cap stocks. Yes, those which everybody's been complaining about, and a lot of fund managers have been mentioning that even after the recent correction, valuations are still high. So that's the segment that's taking all the beating, and possibly that is a pattern that will continue in future. So you have to be careful of that segment. But what about large caps? And that is where I wonder that after 4 months of selling, isn't it too early to go into a fifth and a 6th month of selling? You can't just go one way down. And that is why I have not been anticipating this next leg down, though every bounce has been short-lived in this sell-off in the market, and eventually prices have broken to new lows. Today's swing reading, the indicator which you get on strike for the short term, is reaching a 6 in the live market, and 6 reading is really very, very low, which means you are getting into extremely oversold conditions. It doesn't mean an intraday recovery necessarily, sometimes maybe, but by the end of the day, I think a lot of the selling and panic in mid and small caps may get done, and that low reading can give us some kind of a recovery is what I would believe, because I don't think we should sell off in such a big way after so many months of decline that have already happened. So I think the bounce should have lasted a little longer. I could be wrong, but that's what I would tend to anticipate. And so this low reading to me would be a point at which maybe we make another attempt to go up. If that attempt also fails, then surely we are in for tougher times irrespective. But till that point of time, I'm going to be watchful as to whether we can manage to make off these lows and attempt once more to go towards 24,000 or higher. That's what I'm trying to think about.